I'm just going to make a quick video on my Shaw Brothers DVD collection. Now, I will not claim to be a Shaw Brothers expert. There are far more bigger fans out there that know all the names of the directors and all the stars. Well, to be honest, I pronounce a lot of the stars and directors' names wrong, so I'm not even going to attempt to in this video. But I'll go through the DVDs. I own 50 Shaw Brother movies on DVD. And I believe 2 co-productions. And I do plan to collect as many as I can. I do love Shaw Brothers beyond belief. I forget how many films Shaw Brothers have made over the years. I believe it's over 700 films altogether. So there are a lot of films out there. So my measly little 50 is hardly cracking the shell of the Shaw Brothers egg. But I'll go through them here. First up is I'll go through the Dragon Dynasty releases. Let's see, 36 Chamber of Shaolin, classic, must own if you are into kung fu films in general, not even just Shaw Brothers. The director of his films are very training orientated, so some people don't like that, but I find I do like his style, and that's a classic must own. We have King Boxer, which was originally released in the U.S. as Five Fingers of Death. Even before Bruce Lee films, this is the film that really catapulted kung fu films in America in the 70s. So, there's some shocking violence in it, like eye gouging. One of my favorites of even kung fu films in general. The One-Armed Swordsman. Great film. Quentin Tarantino was even really influenced by this. A guy gets his arm cut off, and by a woman that has a crush on him, and then later on he ends up having to try to save her family. It was a very excellent film, one of my favorite Shaw Brothers films. If I had to name my favorite one, I don't know if I could, but this is definitely in the top 5, if not top 3. My Young Auntie, more of a comedic one here. Let's see, Come Drink With Me. I love this one. This is definitely my top 3. It has more of a spaghetti western vibe to it in the way it's filmed. There's less of the cheesy sound stages used. So for that reason alone, I love it. Plus, it has a warrior, tough woman in it. Before this, Shaw Brothers films that feature women, they have to have a lot of them, but this one, you had one woman as the hero, so I really love this film. Heroes of the East, another classic here. Return to the 36th Chamber, first sequel to the 36th Chamber of Shaolin. This sequel has the same actor, but plays a character that's pretending to be his character from the first film, if that makes any sense. And also, this is more of a comedy. So for that aspect, I find this sequel really disappointing because it's just too damn goofy. Like, there's a character with big teeth in it. I mean, really huge teeth. And I'm like, what the fuck did this come from? So that's a disappointing sequel. Return of the One-Armed Swordsman. That actually, I enjoyed it. Not near as good as the first film, but for a sequel, that one wasn't bad. The 8 Diagram Pole Fighter, of course, has the star of the 36th Chamber of Shaolin and one of the best kung fu movies ever made. This is a must-own right there. The Return of the 5 Deadly Venoms. I actually missed out. Before I do that, we'll do the 5 Deadly Venoms. What can I say about this one? It's classic. It's a must-own. One of the most popular kung fu films ever made. Almost missed that one. Of course, The Return of the 5 Deadly Venoms. This, of course, is not a sequel. It stars the same cast members, but it's better known as Crippled Avengers. Of course, released in some areas in America as a sequel to 5 Deadly Venoms. Excellent film, though, even though it's not really a sequel. Shaolin Mantis. And great film. I'll just leave it at that. Disciples of the 36th Chamber. Third and final entry into the 36th Chamber trilogy. Better in the second film because this one, unlike that film, isn't a comedy, but still not near as good as the first film, but not a bad third entry. 5 Shaolin Masters, that's a cheesy, entertaining film there. Executioners from Shaolin, or Shaolin, excuse me, I pronounced it right. a lot like Five Shaolin Masters, but not as good. It starts out almost exactly the same. Mad Monkey Kung Fu, despite the silly title, this was a great film. Really enjoyable. Let's see, Martial Arts of Shaolin. Third in a trilogy, follows the Shaolin Temple and Kids from Shaolin. All of them star Jet Li. Sadly, the first two haven't been released officially on DVD in America. I haven't watched this yet because it is the third in a trilogy. I'm waiting patiently for the other two films. If not, I'll probably have to end up getting bootlegs of those, but I'm patiently waiting. And we got Golden Swallow, which is a sequel to Come Drink With Me, and a great sequel. This is also known as The Girl with the Thunderbolt Kick. I haven't actually watched all these yet because I got a lot of these recently. Blood Brothers, actually haven't watched that one yet. Killer Clans, have not watched that one yet either. Avenging Eagle, that's another one I got recently, haven't watched that one yet. Flying Guillotine, oh yeah, I really enjoyed this. One of the most iconic weapons in martial arts film history. About they throw these things on chains and they get around people's heads and take them off. And waited a long time for that to come to DVD. So, and the enjoyable sequel, Flying Guillotine 2, one of the few sequels that Shaw Brothers made that actually uses a number in it. Not as good as the first film, but for a sequel, this is really good. I really enjoyed it. Now, that's all the releases I have from Dragon Dynasty. Now we'll move on to Funimation. The Funimation releases all have a white motif. They all have similar looking covers, and I really like this. The 14 Amazons, early release from Shaw Brothers. Like I mentioned before, they like to use a lot of women in their films, and this one does. 14, of course. Notorious for having the human bridge in it. Great film. Shaolin Handlock. This one actually is... most Shaw Brothers Kung Fu films are period pieces. This one actually is a contemporary, as it takes place in the 70s. There's cars and stuff for that. It's still very Shaw Brothers, but it is a little different because of that. And it's cheesy, but very enjoyable. Opium and the Kung Fu Master. These Funimation ones have just hilarious taglines on the cover. He's got to kick the habit before he can kick ass. Love it. Really enjoyed this one. One of my favorites from Shaw Brothers. Hong Kong Godfather. This one came out in the 80s. A lot different from Shaw Brothers Kung Fu films at the time. This is like a crime film. It's kind of like a precursor to like John Woo's crime style films. Really violent. A lot of machete action. I really enjoyed this. A lot of bloody machete action in this. Really highly recommend it. Now I have a box set. These were all released separately in this set. Price-wise, I got the set because it was cheaper to get all three films. Shaolin Prince. I actually did not enjoy this one that much. This one has a lot of fans, but it's a little too goofy for my taste. Life Gamble. That's a Venoms film, starring the Venoms, the people from Five Deadly Venoms. And the plot is actually rather complex, so you really have to pay attention to this one, but it's a really good film. And let's see, Invincible Shaolin, another enjoyable, I believe, yeah, this is a Venoms film also. Let's see, and that's it for that box set. Then I have The Duel, early Shaw Brothers film, really great film, later remade as Flags of Iron, which I've heard is better, but I have not seen. Got Shaolin Rescuers, another enjoyable Venoms film. Got Soul of the Sword, which I have not seen yet. Bastard Swordsman. It seems like when the 80s rolled around, a lot of the Shaw Brothers films I see are really fucked up, like bizarre. A lot of fantasy elements, like this one has just crazy shit in it. Like this guy that's the Bastard Swordsman, he trains in the silkworm technique, and he cocoons himself in silk. It's just bizarre, and I loved it. I really enjoyed this film a lot. The sequel, Return of the Bastard Swordsman, but the title on the box art takes away the word the. Did not enjoy this one near as much. But for a Shaw Brothers film, this is still pretty good. Got The Supreme Swordsman. I really like the first hour of this. It's about this swordsman that he wants to kill the 100 most powerful swordsmen in China, and he has one left to go. And someone challenges him, but then at the hour mark, the film takes a bizarre turn, and I didn't really like it after that. So the first hour, at least, I really loved. The Sword of Swords, starring the guy from The One-Armed Swordsman. Really enjoyed this film a lot. I was really surprised by how much I liked that one. And I recently got this one with Lady Hermit. She's, of course, the star of Come Drink With Me. Haven't watched this yet, but I love her as an actress, so I'm sure I'll like this a lot. That's it for the Funimation releases. Now I have some Image Entertainment releases. I have all the Dragon Dynasty and all the Funimation, and I'm working on getting the Image Entertainment ones right now. House of Traps, a Venom's film. The plot is a little complex. You really have to pay attention, but it's the House of Traps itself. There's a lot of cool, interesting traps in that place, so I enjoyed that one a lot. The Water Margin, that is based on a historical novel, very epic for Shaw Brothers standards. To me, I didn't enjoy this as much as their cheesy kung fu films because it is so epic, but it's still a great, great film, and for Shaw Brothers standards, it's a great production. Let's see. After that, I have a quadruple feature of Image films. I just got this, so I haven't seen any of them, and I know, being a Shaw Brothers fan, people are going to go, "Oh, you haven't watched that yet? That's one of their best films." I know, but hey, I only have so much time in a day. Got The Deadly Breaking Sword, which I've heard is great. Legendary Weapons of China, which I've heard is great. Shaolin Intruders, and The Shadow Whip. I've heard they're all very good, but those two I've heard are the best. I haven't seen any of these yet, so. After that, that's all I have for the Image Entertainment releases. There's a ton more. Moving on to Well Go USA. Well Go USA, after Dragon Dynasty, Image, Funimation, and Tokyo Shock Media Blasters, Well Go USA kind of got the leftover stuff for the most part. So a lot of their films they release, not saying they're not good, they're just more of the obscure Shaw Brothers titles. And for that, I actually enjoy them because they're the ones that are less seen. All Men Are Brothers is actually a sequel to The Water Margin. Haven't watched this one yet, considering The Water Margin is so epic and long. I've been putting this one off. Let's see, Duel of the Century, which is actually a sequel to Clan of the Amazons, which has not had an American DVD release. This is really, really a bizarre, goofy Shaw Brothers film, a lot of fantasy elements. My brother has seen the first film in the series, and he said it's awful. He can see why it's not been released in America, but it still bugs me that I own a sequel and not the first film. Swordsman and the Enchantress, a very bizarre film. It even has kung fu zombies in it, so if that tells you anything. The Jade Tiger, I have not watched that one yet because I just got it. And we got Duel of the Fists, which came out, I believe, at the same time as Bruce Lee's The Big Boss. And I think in Hong Kong it was the second biggest at the box office after Bruce Lee's film. I haven't watched this yet again because I just got it. And this one, Journey of the Doom, this is an 80s Shaw Brothers film. And this one's a bizarre mixture of genres. It's kung fu and fantasy, but it's also got erotic elements because Shaw Brothers did some erotic films, so it's just a bizarre mixture of genres, and it doesn't really know quite what it wants to be. But I found this at a pawn shop of all places. And that's it for my Shaw Brothers collection. I love Shaw Brothers. Again, I'm not an expert, so a lot of people will be correcting me on this video, I'm sure. You know, like, how come you don't have this film and that? I will admit I haven't moved on. I haven't got any of the Tokyo Shock releases yet because I've had a lot of problems with Tokyo Shock DVDs in the past. The Media Blasters, Shriek Show, they're all the same company. I've had glitchy DVDs beyond belief from that company, so I'm kind of weary about getting it. I'm sure I will get the Shaw Brothers films by them eventually, but I always take a gamble when I'm buying their DVDs, so that's why I haven't picked up any of the Tokyo Shock ones yet. But that's my Shaw Brothers collection for now. Oh, forgot this. Here's one of the co-production, Spaghetti Western co-production, Blood Money. But there'll be plenty more in my collection to come. I still got a ton more to collect, so that's it.